Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to learn how to use Git and GitHub from scratch. So by the end of this video, you will know what Git and GitHub are. You will be able to install Git on Windows, create a GitHub repository or a repo, push your project to GitHub using CMD, clone your code on another computer, make changes and then push again, and also understand the common Git terms like commit, push, pull. So let's get started. So you might be wondering what is Git and GitHub. So Git is a version control system. It helps you track changes in your code over time. So you can think of it like a time machine for your project, and then GitHub is a website that lets you store your Git repositories online. So it's a kind of a web hosting for your Git. It also helps you share your code with others, collaborate, and also contribute to open source projects. In very simple term, Git is a local diary that keeps versions of your code or your work, and then GitHub is a cloud storage to store and share your diary with others. So let's now see how we can install Git on our computer. So first of all, you have to open this website, that is git-scm.com. I'll keep the link in the description of the video. Then after that, you have to click on download for Windows, which is right here. So the first link is for the computers which come with Intel processors, and the second one is specifically built to run on computers with ARM64 processors. So anyways, just click on the correct installer and download it. Let it download completely. Now once the installer has been downloaded, you can open the folder where you have saved it, then right click on it and then click on run as administrator. Let me minimize this window. Alright, then click on next. Now you can choose where you want to install Git. I will just let it be in the default location and then I'll just click on next. Click on yes. If the folder is not found, it's going to create a new one. Now here I want you to let the default options be ticked, or if you want to make some changes or add more components, you can do that from here. For example, I want an icon on the desktop. I'll just click here. I'll also tick this one, that is add a git bash profile to Windows terminal. Then click on next, then again next. Now from here it's asking you which editor would you like Git to use, and let's see the list: Vim, Notepad++, Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, and many other. Now from here you can choose any one of the text editor that you work on or you are familiar with. For example, I'll just choose this one, that is Sublime Text, and then click on next. Here also let this be ticked on, let Git decide, and then just click on next. From here also I want you to select this option, that is Git from the command line and also from third party software. Then again click on next. Use bundled OpenSSH and then again next. Use the native Windows secure channel library, then again next. Check out Windows style, commit Unix style, this is also fine. Click on next. Here also just next. Fast forward or merge, then next. Git credential manager, then next, and then finally you'll see this install button, so just click on it. So my suggestion is to keep all default settings unless you know what you are doing. So now the Git has finished installing, just click on finish. Now the next step is to create a project folder, and then we are going to initialize Git. So let me open the folder where I have kept my project, and these are two projects that I have worked on Microsoft Visual Studio. So let's say I'll select this project, that is simple contact book. In your case, if you have not created any project, what you can do is you can just create a new folder anywhere, and then you can use that folder to initialize Git in that folder. Alright, so this is the folder and this is the path to my folder. So I'll just right click here and then click on copy address. Now we have to run cmd or the command prompt. So I'll just click here on run as administrator. So the first thing is to locate our project directory or the project folder. So what we can do is we have to write cd and then we have to write the project location or the folder location like this, then just hit enter, and now my project directory or the project folder is active. All right, now we have to initialize Git. To do that, you have to write git init, hit enter. Now it says initialized empty Git repository in, and this is the folder, our project folder. All right, my folder has been turned into a Git repository, and from now onwards Git is going to track all the changes that I make in this folder. Now we have to add the files and then we will commit. Since my folder or my project folder is already having a lot of files from before, but to make it simple, I'll just add one more file here and I'll just give it name as hello and let it be a text file. And then after that, I'll open the CMD once again. Now what we have to do is to add all these files and folders that are already present to our Git repository, and to do that we will just write git space add space dot. This will add all the files to Git, then hit enter. All right, so this warning LF will be replaced by CRLF the next time Git touches it. So this means that Git is configured to automatically convert line endings from Unix style, which is LF, to Windows style, that is CRLF, whenever you interact with the files in your repository. And this is often a configuration issue related to how Git handles line endings on different operating systems. So LF or line feed is used as a line ending in Unix based systems like Linux or Mac OS, and then CRLF is the carriage return plus line feed, which is used as a line ending in Windows. So you can just ignore this warning, or if you want Git to convert line endings automatically whenever you are checking out files on Windows, you can use core.autocrlf to true. Now that you have added all the files to Git, you have to commit changes, which actually takes a snapshot of your code and then saves it into the cloud storage of GitHub. So to do that, we have to write git space commit space hyphen m, which is for message, and then within double quotes you can write a message. So I'll just write initial commit. All right, so if you're doing this for the first time, you might get an error like this. So to solve this error, we will just have to use git config space global space user dot email. Then within double quotes, you will have to write your email like this. Then just hit enter. And then once again, you have to use the same command, but this time user dot name space within double quotes, you have to write your name like this and then hit enter. All right, now you can commit once again. Now it has worked and the nodes have been created for each of our files. All right, now that is done, we have to create a GitHub repository so that we can link our this local folder, which is this one, to GitHub and then push these files or these codes onto the GitHub. Now to do that, you will have to open your browser once again, and then here you'll have to open a new tab and then just type github.com. And it's not like you have to use GitHub only, and there are many other service providers that you can choose from, such as GitLab, GitHub, SourceHut, Codeberg. So it's totally a personal choice. So here, after opening the github.com, you will have to create an account. If you don't have an account from before, it's just going to take few minutes, so just go ahead and create an account and then sign in into it. I'll just log in into my account for now. All right, once you are into your account, it will look something like this. You have to click here on new repository, which is this one. Then you have to give a name to your repository. So to keep it simple, I'll just use the same name as of my project. And if you want to give a description, you can do that from here. After that, if you want this repository to be visible to others on internet, you can let it be on public, or you can choose to make it private so that only you will decide who can see and commit to this repository. I'll just let it be on private, and then don't tick this option, that is add a readme file, so that we will just create an empty repository. Alright, then after that just click here on this create repository, and this is where our code will be live online. Now GitHub is going to give you a link which we will use to connect to this repository, so you can just copy it from here like this, and then after that we have to link our local folder which we have here. This is the local folder, and then we will push our codes into our repository online. So open your cmd once again. So I'll just write git space remote space add space origin, and then you have to paste the url of the repository like this, and then just hit enter. All right, we are using to connect our local folder to the GitHub repository that we have created using the URL that GitHub has provided. Then write git space branch space hyphen capital M space main. We are renaming the branch to main because GitHub uses that as default. Alright, then finally git space push space hyphen u space origin space main, and then hit enter. This sends our code to GitHub for the first time. We will have to authenticate ourselves since I have set the repository to private. If it was public, you will be able to push it without authenticating. So what we can do is we can just click here on sign in with your browser, and then from here you have to enter your username and password. So as soon as you sign in, it will show a blank page like this, so you can just close it, and if you return back to your command prompt, you will see the results like this. You have successfully authenticated yourself and the project has been pushed onto repository. So we can check that. So let's open our GitHub and then let's refresh here, and now you can see all the files have been uploaded here to your repository, especially this hello.txt which I have created just to explain you. Now let's say you are working on a new computer, or your team members are working on another computer. You want to give them a copy of your project so that they can work on it. They simply have to write git space clone, but obviously they will have to install git on their computer first and then initialize it, and then after that they have to use git space clone, and then they will have to provide the repository url which you have created before. It's going to create a folder and then bring all the files and git history, so they will be able to work on it. Now let's say you are working on your computer and then you have made some changes to your files. Let's say this is the hello text file which is empty in our GitHub. We can just open and check. So you can see it's empty. Now what we will do is I'll just write something here, then I'll just Control S, save it, and then close it. Now let's assume that you have made some changes to your project, you have saved it, and now you want to upload or push your changes to the repository. Now to do that, you will have to open cmd, run as administrator. Alright, then you have to write cd just as before, and then we have to specify the folder location. Hit enter, that will become our active directory. Then we have to use git space add space dot, hit enter. It's going to add all the files to our git. Then git space commit space hyphen m, and then we can add our message, something like what changes we have made to the project before pushing it. So I'll just write updated hello.txt and then hit enter. Alright, then after that we just have to use git space push. Alright, now you can see our GitHub is updated again. You can open our repository, just refresh it, click on hello text, and now you can see we have this hello world. Now let's say you have given access to your team members to work on this project as well, and then they have made some changes to this project. So let's say I'll just make some changes here, click edit this file, and then let's write one line. This change was, let's say this change was made by your team member. click on commit changes, and then you will have to specify a commit message so that later you can understand what were the changes made during this commit. And then click here on commit changes. Alright, so this change was committed to the repository. So let's assume this change was made to your repository by your team member, but this will not be reflected in your local folder because you have not pulled the changes in technical word. So let's see how we can do that. So when your team members are making changes to the repository, you can download the updated version using the pull command. So to do that, you will have to open command prompt just as before, then use cd space your folder location just as we have done before, so that your folder or the project folder becomes the active directory. Then after that, you have to use git space pull and then hit enter. It's going to pull the latest changes from GitHub into your current project folder. Let's open this hello.txt, and you can see this change was made by your team member. So the changed or the updated hello text has been downloaded, and that you can see from here as well. It shows hello text. It shows one file was changed, 3 insertions were made, and 1 deletion. So it kinds of give you a summary of the changes that have been done. Now, before we end, let's revise some important Git terms. A repository or a repo, it's a folder or a project which is being tracked by Git. Commit means to save a version of your project with a message. Push is used to upload your code to GitHub, and then pull is to download the latest code or the latest version of your codes from GitHub. Clone means to copy a GitHub repository to your computer, and then remote is used to link your local project with the GitHub repository. In the upcoming videos, we will explore branches, pull request, and real-time collaboration. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.